Oh, how long is the category? To answer the person who asked that in chat, the category is approximately 20, 30-ish minutes around. Also, it looks like the timers started at different times, but that shouldn't be too big of an issue. If anyone knows this game, essentially you have to do the first tutorial-ish boss. Then there's this section of movement in the quote-unquote real world, we'll say. And then you go back to sleep, and then you just run for the dog as quick as possible. As for the RNG in this run, it's a bit heavy on the RNG, but I mean it's a lot more movement based, I'd say. A lot more places to mess up on movement, and that makes a lot more of a difference comparatively to the type of RNG you can get. So very much beginning of this run is a lot of just movement and stuff like that, and optimizing mashing through text as quick as possible. But there's also like an option to hold text and stuff like that, and I don't know if everyone goes for mashing text, considering hold text is sort of similar in time. So we're gonna see that probably. Honestly, pretty clean white space movement, honestly. I think a little bit of a mess up on Lev's side, but honestly, it's really close on it. It's gonna be a little boring for a bit, because it's pretty much just gonna be text skipping for a little. Right, I was gonna go look at the PBs of both of these runners. I think currently Lev has a 2907, and as for Yes, I actually couldn't find his PB. So I'm actually unsure if he has a run submitted or not, actually. But I'm pretty sure he has a run submitted on any percent, so definitely not like new to the game at all. I'd say Lev is about a second or two ahead of Yus right now. That can change very quickly though, especially with the first boss in the game. It's usually a 3-cycle boss, but there's a chance, if you get a crit, I believe, there's a chance of getting a 2-cycle boss really early on. And that'll be after Hide and Seek, which comes up in a little bit. And Hide and Seek is one of the more technical movement, I guess, parts of the game, or parts of this run rather, where you want to like as precisely as possible move to everyone and like complete the hide and seek game. But before that, there's still a lot of text. I agree with that comment in chat. Basil Monka S. Thankfully, or maybe not thankfully, we do not see much of Basil in this run, honestly. Oh, it is an interesting thing. When you go talk to this NPC, you have a choice of running in different directions after talking to him, and that changes the pathing the NPC has to you and stuff like that. I'm actually unsure which is faster. I do what Yis does and like goes to the left of him after talking, but Lev seems to go up, and I'm unsure which one's actually quicker. I think left is quicker, but it might not actually make a difference at all. I'm gonna be honest. Alright, here's the very important hide and seek. Lev has some pretty clean movements so far. Gonna watch Yis as well. Oh, Yis bonking into the puzzle piece there. Oh, bonk from Lev as well. Alright. Okay, Yis doing a pretty clean portion here. A little bit of a bonk there, but I wouldn't say that's like a time loss. Oh, Lev going for the Jack in the Box guy first. I don't know if that's actually faster. I don't go for the Jack in the Box guy first. I go for the floating head thing, like Yis is doing, yeah. I wonder if what Lev is doing is actually quicker. I don't think I've seen anyone else do a route like that, though, interestingly enough. Honestly, Yis having a really clean like hide and seek so far. Lev having a pretty clean one too, but I think he bonked into the puzzle piece and had like a second bonk just slightly before talking to Hero, so puts him a little bit behind. Or he lost a little bit of time, rather. Oh, what are some bottlenecks in this category? I guess, are you asking, like, what's the highest potential time sort of thing? I mean, if you, let's say you had perfect movement and stuff like that, like absolute perfect movement through hide and seek and stuff like that, the things would be RNG in terms of battles, because there's about, like, 3 or 4 battles in this. And those are pretty important, because you can skip, I think, 3 cycles total. So, for example, on the fight coming up right now with a character named Boss, it's normally a 3-cycle fight, so it takes 3 turns before he does his special attack, and then you have to do another attack after that on the 3rd turn. If you get lucky with a crit, I believe you can get turn 2, the fight finishes, so I'd say like RNG is gating it a bit. Also at the end of the run, when you're actually wanting to pet the dog, you have to go into this area where the dog is, and the dog has a chance of spawning. I actually don't know what the chance is, like I don't remember what the chance is. But the dog has a chance of spawning when you walk into it. Also, let's see if anyone gets a 2-cycle fight here. No, okay. That's definitely a 3-cycle from Lev. As for Yes, we'll see if he gets any lucky crits here. Nope, seems like it's gonna be 3-cycle from Yes as well. Oh wait, no, yeah, no it is, okay. So 3-cycle from each of the runners. No one getting particularly lucky here. Lev's still in the lead though. Right, the other thing I forgot to mention is, technically you can skip text faster with mashing keys. At least I think that's the case, I actually haven't checked in a while, but if you're mashing Z and X, for example, it is technically faster than holding a button to skip text. So if you have like super optimal mashing and stuff like that, you can pull ahead sometime. It's not a lot of time as far as I'm aware, but it does make a difference. And one of the other places you can save a lot of time is later on is a second boss fight, and during that boss fight there's a lot of menuing and stuff like that. So if you can menu extremely quickly, that fight, you can save a lot of time there. Alright, let's see the movement from live here. Alright, pretty clean movement to the first sprout mole. Also, talking to the mailbox there, fun fact, if you try to leave, the mailbox will be like, hey, you know, buy some items before you leave. But if you talk to the mailbox before leaving, it's actually quicker. Ooh, lucky crit from Lev, but I don't think it actually finishes the fight any quicker. It might have skipped one attack, so that's pretty nice. I'm gonna see if Yus gets lucky at the, on this either. Yeah, so it does skip an attack. I think they should kill it anyways. Yeah, okay. So it skips Hero's attack, so he saved a little bit of time there with getting lucky. Or Lev saved a little bit of time, rather. This fight is pretty RNG dependent, I think. Like, you can get a really lucky fight here, and I think it's one phase instead of being a two-phase fight, so... Let's see if Lev gets a crit here. Oh, maybe it's not a crit. Maybe I'm crazy. Okay, maybe you can just one phase the, or like one turn that fight and then just dumb. Oh no, okay, so Yus did not get the one turn, so I guess it's based on ranges. So I guess that's pretty unlucky. Lev again saving time from getting a slightly quicker fight comparatively to Yus. And this fight's sort of interesting. The sprout mole is sad, which means it takes less damage. So you want to actually do 2 attacks, and then with Kelly you want to use this thing called Annoy, which makes the sprout mole angry, which means it takes more damage. So this part's a little, like, tricky to menu. As you can see there, Yus was a little slow with the Annoy menuing, but overall still pretty clean from both of the runners. Here's the first skip in the game, called Picnic Skip, because you have a picnic, and you have to... You essentially skip a mini cutscene where you're supposed to have a picnic with a character called Mari. And if you do it correctly, you just walk past a thing that's what... you walk past the thing where essentially one of the characters says, hey, we should have a picnic with Mari. But instead you just walk away and never have the picnic. And I believe that saves like... I actually don't know how much time that saves. I want to approximate like 10 seconds. Anyways, here's the second boss in the game, which requires sort of heavy menuing. Whereas opposed to just spamming fight, like you can hold down Z and it'll spam the fight command, but you actually have to go over to the skill command and then press guard every time, which makes it a little more difficult to menu than just holding Z or something. Wow, that's actually really quick menuing from Lev, I think. Let me see. He's also having pretty clean menuing, actually, so not bad at all. I think we are seeing Lev, though, pull ahead, I'd say, generally. Mostly with the lucky sprite mole fights, I'd say. Alright, it's gonna be Lev finishing off the fight first. Wow, that's actually pretty good at, like, getting a sub 14, like, finishing it off. Or sort of sub 14, rather. Oh wow, okay, that was like, okay, so in my run, or in my race of this, there's like a quick text skip apparently at the end of that fight, and apparently I was playing on a 2 new version of the game for that text skip thing to work. So essentially at the end of a fight, it tells you characters leveled up and stuff, and they like gain abilities, etc., right? When you level up, apparently you can... Usually the text is really slow to scroll and tell you you've leveled up, but apparently there's some sort of skip where you can spam through the text really quickly, which only works on older versions of the game, supposedly. So, yeah. And we saw it demonstrated, and we're gonna see if Yus does it here. You'll see at the end, like, text will appear being like, Omori leveled up or whatever. Yep, there's a quick text skip there. Very nice. coming up, there's gonna be a very small like portion of RNG, I guess, which is Basil drops photos here, and when you go into Basil's house, he wants you to rearrange the photos back in his photo album, and I think the order of the photos are random, so you can technically get a slower or faster photo thing, if that makes sense. It'll make more sense once you see what I'm talking about. Spawn live screen coming up right here. It's this, so you open up the thing, and depending, the picture's order at the bottom is random. So he had to like go back to the other page, sort of thing. That was not super great as far as I'm aware, in terms of RNG. Still pretty quick though. Honestly, Lev's pace is pretty good. We'll also see if Yus gets any luckier in terms of the photo RNG. Oh. Okay, instead of opting to go back to the other page, you just picked a different picture instead. I think that was really similar patterns, if not the same. Huh. I wonder if it is consistent and I just don't know. I'm pretty sure it is random though, because I've done a bunch of different runs and it's been different every time. And I've seen runs where it's been different, so I guess that was just lucky, I guess. And as for left screen, it's just going to be a big cutscene that you can't really skip coming up, so. However, after the cutscene, there's going to be a little section where you have to name the main character, essentially. And that can be really weird, because it'll ask you if you want to confirm the name of the character, and if you say no, it'll, like, delay a second and try to, like, ask you to name the character again. Particularly in my race, I accidentally said, when it asked, is this name okay? I said no, and I lost a bunch of time there, so hopefully, we won't see these mistakes here. Oh, okay. Usually you try to get rid of all the text, but maybe you don't anymore. I remember back when I was running this more actively and stuff like that, you tried to backspace so your name was only one letter, but it's probably safer just to opt out to just whatever, especially considering how short this run is. So a lot of this part of the run is just like making sure you optimize your paths essentially to the fastest ways, and you know what you're doing essentially, and you skip text as quick as possible. Because essentially, in this part of the game, you're hungry, you get up, you want food, you decide not to go down the stairs, you go back to bed, you get up and you decide you want food, and then you have to fight this abomination, sort of thing. The fight is completely scripted, so there's no actual like RNG. Also, whoa, Yes sort of messing up the menuing there. Accidentally naming his character Sunna instead of Sunny. All good though. Gets through. So yeah, on Lev's screen, he's gonna be getting into a scripted fight soonish, and that fight takes 5 turns, and then you just use an ability that gets you out of the fight essentially. Honestly, I think Lev is actually pulling a pretty big lead here at this point, considering there's not much time left for the run. And I think it's because of a lot of his text mashing, I think is faster than Yes's, which is actually pretty interesting. Oh, I think that was an accidental menu opening there from Yes. I'm actually curious if Yes has run this category before, because as far as I'm aware, I didn't see his time on the leaderboard, so. Yep, fight going is normal for Lev. Oh, a little bit of a mess up there, but still pretty clean movement, I'd say. Alright, pretty clean menuing from Yus on the fight there. Interestingly enough, in my race, I ended up messing up the menuing and doing an extra 6th turn, which is funny to me. As far as I can see, I think Lev is going to have a really, really good time back in bed as well. He's going to have like a... Oh wow, I think that's like a 22 something? Huh, that's actually like a 2150 something. This might be an amazing time, actually. Also, I noticed he accidentally like inspected the like table there or something before going into the door. I feel like there might be definitely some nerves here, considering how good I think his time is currently. Kind of to the final stretch of the run here. A lot of this is going to be like the same we've seen already. What? That was sort of interesting. He like checked the laptop and then checked the map and then checked the laptop again for some reason. I don't know if that was a mistake or he doesn't know that you don't have to check the laptop again, or maybe I missed something. Sort of interesting. Uh, but this run is still not too far. I'd say definitely Lev is in the lead, but it is possible for Lev to get terrible dog RNG at the end, so a little bit of a mismovement there. Not too big of a deal. As far as I can tell, it might be possible for Lev to actually get a sub 27 here. Or maybe I'm like really dumb and have no idea. But it's looking like it, potentially. At the very least, he's looking at like a low 27 most likely. Assuming dog RNG goes well. I'd say that was pretty clean movement there from Lev. This is like one of the really chokeable parts of the run, I'd say, where you can like mess up a bunch of movement and like bonk into a bunch of stuff. Like there's little bonks there, but honestly, not big, like not a big deal at all. Damn, Lev's tech skipping is so clean. We'll see his movement back, see how clean it is. I noticed he like bonked a little bit out of Basil's house, but not a big deal either. We'll just watch this stretch of movement here. Man, very, very clean right there. Wow, this is actually whoa. This is actually looking like a really good time. This could be a 26 something if he gets good dark RNG. We're gonna see. As for yes, it's not looking very good for him, honestly. I mean, he can make a really clean movement on the way back and stuff like that, but Lev's RNG would have to be really bad for Yis to be able to catch up. Okay, I take it back. It's probably gonna be low 27. Well, actually, it could be like a high 26. We're gonna see. Let's watch Yis's movement back through the forest. Or back through Basil's gardens, whatever. Oh, a little bit of a bonk right there. Not a big deal. Alright, overall clean movement though. Oh, Lev dodging right there. This could be 26 still. If he gets first try dog. Nope. Second try. Oh! And there we go, 26:50. Oh my god, that's actually an amazing time, especially for a race. Jeez. Alright, so the winner is Lev with a time of 26:50. I believe Lev's previous PB was 29:07. So that actually puts him. Let me check real quick. That actually puts him, I think, third on the leaderboard. Whoa. That is an impressive run for a race for sure. Give me a second. I'm gonna wait for the next runner to finish, and I think I'm gonna do interviews after. I need to figure out how that's set up. Give me a second. My bad. 27:51 for the other, for yes. Not a bad time at all either, honestly. A sub 28 in general is, I'd say, pretty good, especially under race conditions. Actually sort of unsure how to invite people to like post race, whatever. Give me a second. All right, I sent an invite. We'll see if they end up joining for post race like thingy. Alright, I have confirmation from Yisk that he's not going to be joining. We'll see if Lev will join. No, neither? Okay, alright. So it seems like we're not going to have a post-race thing. I'm very impressed in Lev's time. I mean, that's like a number 3 time on the leaderboard. Honestly, if you grind it for world record, I'm sure you can get it. Super clean tech skipping throughout the entire thing. GG to both runners, and I'm excited to see the next race. I believe the next race is on Friday. Here, let me check, actually. Next race is on Friday, it seems, at 9 p.m. So look out for that. 9 p.m. EST in particular. And I have no idea what to do now. I guess I just like leave the voice channel and I'm good to go. So yeah, GG's to both of the runners, and hopefully I'll be commentating the next one. We'll see.